Hey there. Today I want to tell you about Venom's father, the creator and god of all symbiotes, Knull. Where did he come from and what power does he have? Sit down as comfortably as possible and go with me on a journey to the planet Klyntar. Several billion years ago, there was a redistribution of power in the Marvel multiverse. In the primordial darkness, Knull lived for himself, a cosmic being who in the future will become the progenitor of all symbiotes known to us. His kingdom, woven from darkness and silence, began to burn under the rays of light. The fact is that the cosmic gods, known as Celestials, began to explore new territories, to create in pristine space. Thus, Knull lost everything. Filled with righteous anger, Knull created a blade from the darkness and rushed into battle. But the forces were unequal. However, he managed to cut off the head of one Celestial, and then turn the place where the brains used to be into a forge where he upgraded his blade. Since the darkness was alive, it had a will of its own. So with the fire of the Celestial and the hammer, Knull rewrote the will of the first symbiote into a more malleable one. The artifact was called the All-Black Necrosword. That is why almost all symbiotes are afraid of high temperatures and loud sounds, because all this reminded them of the terrible torments of the symbiotic ancestor. With the help of the sword, Knull cut down many creatures of light, but one day he was unlucky. He fell, lost not only consciousness and the title of Champion of Darkness, but also his sword. Later it will become known that the sword was found by a newcomer who will gain fame as Gore the God Butcher. But that is a completely different story. Therefore, the King of Darkness was defeated, and his sword was gone. Some 100 years later, a thirst for blood and an unquenchable hatred for creatures of light leads Knull to an interesting discovery. While wandering, he noticed one amazing thing. If he combines his creations, representatives of living darkness, with other alien forms of life, he can become a kind of puppeteer. With the help of this discovery, Knull got the opportunity not only to receive information about other worlds, but also to draw power from carriers. At this very moment, he discovers the divine essence in himself and becomes the center of all his creation. Collective mind. And here the interesting part begins. Now there is no need to do anything with your own hands. Why not, if you have already created a whole army of alien minions? But not all creations of his hands were worthy. He kept the worst and most miserable monsters in a hiding place, a dungeon, Exelon, which is located in the abyss of unexplored space. Knull, the king and god of symbiotes, sends his army to the limitless corners of the universe. Now, as a collective mind, he can feel and see everything through the eyes of his creation. At the same time, be in the center of thousands of events, battles and deaths, enjoying the violence and powerlessness of their victims. The countless lifeless bodies of his enemies became metaphorical stairs to his royal and seemingly limitless power. The higher you climb, the more painful the fall. When Knull sent his army, his dragons, to Earth, he had no idea that such a small planet would lead to his miserable defeat. As the creator of the symbiotes said, "The Earth stank of light. Thor, the god of thunder, attacked the aliens. The thunderbolt, as if billions of needles, pierced all the creatures of Knull. A disconnection occurred. The creation was separated from its creator, and the symbiotes, as if scalded, began to look for new carriers and merged with Earthlings. In this way, they got acquainted with foreign concepts of honor, dignity, and heroism. They became infected with light and rebelled against the King of Darkness, and later even imprisoned him with their bodies. By the way, the planet is known under the name Klyntar, which for a long time was considered the homeland of symbiotic aliens, translated as prison. Over the centuries, inactivity killed him, and the Nail himself wanted to return to his campaigns of conquest and bided his time. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Wait for you in the next video.